Patience. Well, one person.
Do it live.
Do it. Do it now. We should be live. Ugh. So, waiting for confirmation that we actually live. And then
I'm
we're...
keeping an eye on it. I think it's live now. Let's see.
Quick, do the jingle.
Yeah, do the jingle. Do the jingle. Do the jingle.
Yes, Luke, do it.
Dissected Alive.
Hooray, we have our own theme song, kind of.
Dissected Alive.
Thank you, Luke. Welcome.
So if any of us actually get dissected alive in reality, we get cut open and died, and we're gonna sing like that.
Yeah. That'll be our last words.
Exactly.
Yeah. Donate my brain to science.
Like in the Monty Python sketch, the guy's still screaming while they're cutting off their donor organs. Great stuff. Well, welcome back, and boy, is it active with the Sonic stuff these days. We got a new cartoon for Sonic Superstars. Sonic Symphony just went in London. We had our Sonic Frontiers DLC, and and we joined a Sonic CTM Rejuice because Sonic CTM had its anniversary lately, and Euan and I animated for it. And we're all going to talk about that stuff. What was that? Sorry.
I just said, yay!
Yay, indeed. So we're going to talk about that.
I just realized that we also got a sneak peek for the next batch of episodes of Sonic Prime.
And that we did too, but we're not going to talk about it. At least I didn't prepare for that. But Dave, you want to say something about it?
Well, I think we're just waiting because we're still waiting on poor Roger to catch up on Prime.
Sorry, I had a busy couple of weeks. But I'll get there eventually. I'm not too motivated because it feels like it's spinning its wheels a lot. Oh well. But yeah, so welcome everyone. Luke, how are you?
Yeah, I've been doing alright. Just pretty much had a busy week doing some recording stuff for release, and my parents were on holiday, so I had to look after the place, do my own shopping and cooking and cleaning and stuff. Just normal, average stuff.
Baron's gone. Time to eat naughty things. That's nice.
Do it. Like red beets.
Red beets. Yeah, I always eat them when Sylvia's gone. She doesn't like them.
Hello.
Sylvia's here, surprise guest, because you want to talk about the Sonic Symphony.
Yeah, also known as Double Silly. Oh my god, I'm doing alright, thank you for not asking. Exactly. But yeah, I'll be joining in just for the Sonic Symphony bit, so I hope everyone is alright. And yes, I'm keeping an eye on the chat, so no naughty things in the chat, alright?
Yeah.
Well, depends on what kind of
brow.
What brown?
Exactamon brow.
There you go. Yeah, Euan, how are you?
Getting better because last week was my birthday, but I ended up suffering a very bad cold during it. So I celebrated it whilst in bed.
So your body didn't give you a very fun present.
Exactly, it's a sign of things to come.
It had a heavy reboot.
A heavy report.
Rebut.
Report.
Melting Man, how are you?
Mostly tired. Mostly because I just had a very busy work week with the TV station that I work at, and just readjusting to how our shows have been reorganized at different time slots, and of course extra packages that we record. Like Tuesday was the roughest day because I pretty much had to skip my lunch break because we had so many packages to take care of. But yeah, aside from that, I've also just been trying to work on the Forgotten Media 100th episode special, and with busy work week, and I'm trying to push myself, work on this, do it before Halloween or so. So I'm constantly fighting with myself to push to get it done, but not too much so that I can be at least mentally stable.
Well, let's hope you succeed at that. Sala, how are you?
I'm doing alright. It was also my birthday very recently. There's a lot of September birthdays around here.
Yeah, and I don't think I congratulated you for that, so happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Thank you.
A bit late. We are terrible.
You as well, Euan.
And cheers to Roger. Hey.
And you know, happy birthday to Roger while we're at it.
Oh yeah.
Sure.
Happy birthday for you, and a happy birthday for you, and a happy birthday for you. And how are you, Roger?
I've been screaming and yelling at Sonic Frontier Forces. Frontiers, jeez, I keep just.
The first time you get it right, and you immediately change it.
You even made me say Sonic Forces in one of your latest videos. Oh god.
Why didn't they just stick with Sonic Rangers?
Oh, that was perfect.
That's me. Perfect. Well,
Greetings, friend. Greetings, friend.
Oh wait, that's the wrong.
There we go.
I'm
I
not the
saw
only
the
one.
head, so I wanted to click the head, but it's greetings. So I'm like, wait, that's the wrong one.
Right, let's get to the point, I guess. So, Sonic Symphony, Sylvia, you wanted to talk about this great thing. They had the Symphony live in London this time. You saw it there with Euan.
Yep, he invited me to come over because I had a week off. Coincidentally, that week when Sonic Symphony was going to be. So, hooray for being that lucky for having work off.
Huzzah!
Yeah, indeed. So, I was in England for a week. And so, on a Saturday, we were in London doing some bits and bobs. And then we headed off to a pub before heading to Sonic Symphony, which was called The Jugged Hare. Sounds cute. We went there, we saw the one who organized it, and we saw a whole wall full of animal heads. The perfect place to have a Sonic meet-up is at a pub with a wall filled with animal heads.
Yeah, it makes me wish I actually was dressed up as Robotnik, then I was just taking some photos of him pointing all gleefully at the head, saying like, hee hee, these are my victims.
Yeah, but that place was packed. It was like a full house. The one who organized it later on was saying I underestimated how small the place was. But yeah, it was fun to see familiar faces and such and all that, so that was great. And then of course we went to the location where it was, which was at the Barbican Center, which was nearby. And Mr. Euan here decided to dress up as Mr. Eggman and walk around. And quite a few people were excited to get on the photo with him, including Sonic.
Exactly. It was...
Oh, I only just now see the picture.
Yeah,
just
like,
now noticed the picture.
I might as well just say it whilst it's still up there at the moment. I love decorating.
Ooh.
Anyway, but yeah, basically just because I was like in front of Sonic and he started like putting his fists up, and I thought I'd just do the same as I sort of let me at him mentality.
Yeah, this is for creating Chris and Sonic X.
I'm still amused by the fact that you were standing somewhere and people were like asking to take a picture with you, and just right next to you, Sonic appeared. There was nothing assigned saying he was gonna be there; just randomly appeared there, like perfect.
Yeah, and of course he recorded a small clip of like, you know, everyone like taking a photo with Sonic and then just panning towards me as dressed as Eggman, looking all moody and stroppish, like, why are you all taking photos with that guy? Bullshit.
Yeah, that was a nice video I made here. Let's see. Then, as we were waiting, there was this lady who started talking to us, and she worked there, and she was saying like, the first show, because it was also an afternoon show, it actually makes me want to become a Sonic fan because of how great the was. Which is like, wow.
Left that much of an impact on her by how noisy everyone was.
Yeah, because apparently that place only uses orchestrated symphony, like classical music and such, like sophisticated stuff, and then suddenly Sonic comes up. So yeah, let's see, I got my notes here just in case. So yeah, the first part of the show was pretty much just the orchestra. You know, the trumpets, the violins, the xylophone, blah blah blah. It was all nice and sweet, and there was like a big screen showing bits of games from Sonic, like the first Sonic games, obviously, the classical ones. Even throwing in some jokes, like which level was that again? With the owl faces everywhere, the golden colored level one that everyone loves because it's so hard.
What, you mean Chemical Plant Zone? Or am I thinking of something else?
Not Chemical Plant Zone, I think. I mean, the Chemical Plant Zone was one with the stairs, was it? Like moving up and down, was it?
Well, it was just the blocks and the chemical water. With
Yeah,
like the
that-
dramatic dun dun dun.
Yeah, oh yeah, that was
Like,
for like
characters.
whenever Sonic was going up with the water being up as such, and he was drowning and he had to get up those stairs. And every time the music was da, da, exactly like that, da, 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 the camera would zoom in, or the footage would zoom in on Sonic while the camera was shaking. I was really glad that they put like a lot of effort into the Labyrinth Zone. I think that's the one. Yeah.
Oh, right.
Where
that one.
they kept showing shots of Sonic dying because apparently that level is quite hard to play. So I'm like, whoever made this video really has a lot of Sonic knowledge.
Exactly.
So yeah, that was really
Yeah.
fun to watch. I haven't played all the games, but it still was enjoyable enough to watch it.
Yeah, and a little surprising they included the music from the Sonic Game Gear games. You know, giving like the 8-bit handheld some recognition.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, that was something like a lower quality, and I was like, "What's going on here? What is this from?"
I think you mentioned like I was going ooh when seeing it pop up.
Yeah. Mm-mm.
Just because it was like quite surprising.
Mm-mm. So, do you have anything to say about the first half, Euan? Anything else?
Probably surprising in a way that they threw in the Chow melody, with all the little Chows like dancing, and then Eggman taking his Chow to the school just to be taught how to dance or something like that.
Yeah. Oh, with the Chow race, there was like all of them were like blue Chows except one. It was like different colored, and the different colored one won the race, and the audio was like woo, clapping and such. Even though it was just on the screen, it's not really actually someone playing it at that moment. Just funny, like how Sonic fans are being like that. Yeah, that made me chuckle. So yeah, to the next half of the symphony, like after the break.
Yeah.
Intermission. No. It actually turned into a rock show. So it became an orchestra, or like a symphony, of course, and then it turned into a rock show because a Sonic band group popped up, which was part of the orchestra, I think, and also two special guests, which were Jun Senue, if I don't butcher it, and Tomoya Ohanti.
Make Sala say he knows
Otani.
all his name. There you go.
Yeah.
Tomoya Otani and Jun Senoi.
Yeah, exactly. Those two popped up, which was fun. They were announced, of course, and they started rocking out so great. But I noticed that June picked up a shadow guitar for the first song.
Yeah.
Everyone probably knew, like, ooh, it's gonna be something related to Shadow, and of course, it was a song from Shadow the Hedgehog game.
I am all of you.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. So the crowd was happy about that one. Also,
I might as well just say I really did feel tempted just to sing I'm at Holdy, just because of that meme going around.
oh god. 1 second. Sonic-kun, could you maybe not spam so much in the chat? Thank you very much. And enjoy our show. Hey, and now I can speak up about needing to type it, so. It was the whole crowd was like rocking along with it. Everyone was singing along with the songs, like "Live and Learn," obviously, which was at the end. Actually, that one song, and "What I'm Made Of," "Open Your Heart," "Night of the Wind," "His World," and such.
Yeah.
But my biggest surprise, which surprised a lot of people too during the show, was they suddenly started playing Sonic Frontiers, Break Through It All. And that song went hard. Really like, yes, and yes.
And also yes.
Yes, very yes indeed. Yeah, because I was not expecting that one because it was so new. Because it came out like last year? Earlier this year? I lost count. Anyway, yeah.
Yeah, pretty much about like 10 months ago at this point.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and also Fist Bump. People went wild, and
Especially you.
well, of course, it's one of my favorite like modern Sonic songs. So yeah. Any of the songs that you were like, heck yes, with the second act?
Not sure about like heck yeah, but I was definitely expecting like the usual classics to, headbang to, but whilst also not headbanging, if that makes much sense.
Yeah,
Like,
you were like,
something I would headbang to, but I don't want to because I don't want to risk hurting my neck.
yeah, you were just nodding probably at times, like, toot, toot, toot. Yeah, you did actually like a few times, like nodding your head along to the song, but not actually headbanging. Yeah.
No headbanging, you worthless metal fan.
How to get
Nah, there was one guy that was literally like up front in like a front row from us, and he was basically doing a lot of like headbanging and twirling his like long hair to the point where almost very temptingly just to shout to the guy like, "Don't spin too hard, mate, or else you'll fly."
Well, I wish he did because he was like right in front of us, and then
Yeah.
on the stage it was like on the left side was June, and on the right side there was Toyoma, and also, which I also forgot to mention, was Shota Namaka, who is actually he was a rock band member and also a producer of the show. So I couldn't see them at times, and they were like shouting. Well, the crowd was shouting about something. I couldn't see it because that person right there was standing in the way right for that. He's like bowing and like worshipping what's going on the stage and such. It's fine to have fun, but don't ruin it for other people.
Too true.
Yeah, but in the end, everyone had to stand up and like cheer along and singing and breaking our voices and yeah.
Yeah, your voice was definitely broken at the end of it.
Yeah,
The point, like, because during Live and Learn, I like was looking at you, and at times I just saw you like looking as though you're about to be sick, and I was like, "Oh,
holding
God,
my
I'm just
throat
gonna
because
throw
I was
up."
like, yeah, my throat started to hurt a lot, but I was also like, I want to keep singing. Stop singing. And like, and sometimes the cough a bit, and then a sip of water helped a little bit. And afterwards, when it was over, I started talking to you, and then he just had to laugh because my voice was like, I don't know. Yeah.
Because you overdid yourself,
Mm,
and I was laughing at your pain.
yeah.
Yes.
Hilarious. But it wasn't really my highlight of the evening, but like the highlight of the evening, what they were presenting, was probably the Sonic Superstar opening theme world premiere. It was cool to hear it, but at that point I was like still hyped up about Breakthrough and all. And then after Superstars, they came up with Live and Learn. So I'm like, I don't even care about the Superstar opening theme. I'm just rocking out about the other songs.
Poor Sonic Superstars.
Yeah, exactly. I'm sure I'll enjoy it when I'm like only listening to the Superstar soundtracks, but not when it's between Breakthrough It All and Live and Learn. Come on. That's a different genre.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
But yeah, overall it was an enjoyable time. The only then we left with like sore throats and being half deaf for the next couple of days.
Yeah, and no merchandise. But that got sorted out luckily, thanks to the producer Shota Nakama, who on Twitter mentioned like that he was very sorry that the merch sold out very quickly, which apparently happened like halfway through the afternoon show. Which was actually the amount of merchandise was meant for the afternoon and for the evening, but it was sold out so quickly. Even like the special edition posters, which were only like 150 of them, they were sold out. Poof, gone. Because everyone was wondering like, where's the merchandise? Looking around and such, and oh no, they already sold out this afternoon.
Yeah.
What?
And there I am, just as Eggman, looking around like John Travolta from that meme, like, where is it? Where is it?
Yeah, you did. Yeah. But yeah, he made sure that those who had the evening tickets as such, or the afternoon tickets too, I'm not really sure, that they would have an early access to the merchandise shop, which Euan did. So you can tell a bit more about that part, I think, like how that worked.
No, just basically just received like a basically had to prove that I went to the evening, and then I was given my code for entering the shop as well as the 25% off code. And basically just got myself a t-shirt and a tote bag. Just those things.
Alrighty. Oh, I see a question in the chat saying, like, a common question for Sonic fans. Breathing or keep singing Live and Learn? Well, that's a very easy one. Keep singing Live and Learn, of course.
Why not?
Breathing
We
is
all
over.
enjoy that song.
Exactly.
Breathing, yeah. I mean, the song literally says Live and Learn, so I'm living and learning that I don't need to breathe during that song.
Nah, we'll just keep singing it until our faces turn blue.
Like Sonic. As blue as Sonic.
The coolest color on the planet.
Exactly, yeah. Just
Just like the song Blue.
Let's see, I think I mentioned everything that I wrote down. Yeah, I think I mentioned everything. Like,
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it, and I wished I could have gone another time. Maybe not on the same day. That would be too much.
Yeah.
I would like, if possible, like if they pop up in Amsterdam or somewhere in the Netherlands, I would be like, heck yeah, let's go. But they haven't announced any new shows yet. They do say it's like a world tour, and Shota Nakama did say like you can suggest your city or town, or probably city in that case, or country, and they might have a look into it if they can come over to that country or city and such.
Yeah, because I mean, there's that whole other meme going around of like everyone saying like, well, for Sega, world tour basically means like the entirety of America and a few dotted places like elsewhere. You know, like London, England, like Paris, France,
Paris,
Sydney, Australia, or something like that.
No, there's not even Australia on the list. No.
Oh right, apparently Australia doesn't exist to them.
Yeah.
Game over, man.
Let's see, I think I have the list right here. It's like in Los Angeles tonight, actually, American time tonight. One of them is sold out, the evening one. There's in Sao Paulo, Brazil, Boston, Chicago, San Antonio, Atlanta, Seattle, San Francisco, Washington, D.C., Kansas City, Tokyo. Wow, that's not America, that's in Japan. Woohoo. And then going to Toronto and Montreal, Canada. Ooh. Portland Schnitzel Auditorium, that's an interesting name. Milwaukee twice, and lastly Paris. So I'm like hoping, like at the end, I secretly hope that it's gonna be like Paris, and then they'll be like, you know what? Let's go to the neighbors, like a few neighbors ahead, like to the Netherlands or something.
It's in Milwaukee. Actually, that's a tiny place, isn't it? Well, I hope Rich Evans goes visited them.
So I was just caught up like, what? What's so special about Milwaukee?
Red Letter Media. But yeah, Sala, you were going to one of the American symphonies, right?
Yeah, I'm definitely considering going to the one in San Francisco in January. Gonna have to figure out like how I'm gonna get there and stuff. It's 100 miles away. It's not too far, but it's a lot farther when you don't have your own car. So
yeah.
So basically, just a stone's throw away.
Yeah, pretty much.
By comparison,
just a couple hour drive.
I mean, I had to travel to London to see it, or like to UK to see it. So.
We can rock.
So that's a bit.
We can throw rock so far, no problem. Just a couple miles away.
We'll just ask Knuckles to help out, punching them over to see the
Giganto, yeah.
Yeah, or just throwing
it
all the way to England.
Yeah. But yeah, there was also one in Germany, but that one got cancelled because stuff happened. And they're gonna be trying to sort it out that it's gonna be happening anyway. I'm quietly hoping it's gonna be closer to where he lives, so we just have to go over the border to get there. Which would be cool.
Here's hoping.
Keep going to Germany a lot.
Yeah, like in Köln, which is, in English, for some reason, it's Cologne. Which is a bit weird. I'm secretly hoping that's gonna be there. That's like close enough, I suppose.
We'll see. But yeah, the Symphony. You recommend it for everyone.
Yes, for everyone who can afford it. Yay.
But did it really have much changes compared to the one that was already uploaded online? So you had to see Sonic Superstars new one?
I think there were some that were obviously new, like the Frontiers one, and did they do Game Gear ones last time?
Yeah, they did. And they also had Sonic Frontiers. But mostly the instrumental background music.
Well, yeah, I think it's more Brazil that got to experience it firsthand.
Fair enough. But yeah, they did do the Sega Game Gear ones. So, like the Train from Triple Trouble and Tails Adventure had one, and Sonic Drift Racing 2 had one. Was a whole medley.
Mm-hmm.
But Sonic Advance didn't get anything. So, but I guess
no
love for Sonic Advance. It's not fair.
Bastards.
Indeed they are. Indeed they are. Well, shall we?
But yeah, to everyone who's going to the LA show tonight, have fun, you bastards.
You should be listening to us instead, darn it.
Yeah, and if you go,
I think it's still the morning for them though.
Fair enough.
So they get to listen to us bash on them.
They deserve it. No, they don't. Or maybe they do.
Yeah. And also with the Los Angeles one for the lucky bastards there. What was his name again? I forgot. The one from Cross 40 is going to be there apparently.
John Sala?
Joelle.
There you go. You're the name guy.
He's going to be there.
Yep. Hence why
I did hear about that.
LA bastards, because they get the man to sing the songs.
The man himself, yes.
I'm hoping he also shows up at the San Francisco show.
Go bother him on Twitter. Maybe he'll come.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I mean X.
No.
Sonic X.
Hey.
Sonic predicted the Twitter change all along. So, we're done with Sonic Symphony. We can move on.
Yeah, Sonic Reduced.
Yeah, you decided.
Reduced.
All right. Guess we'll talk about Sonic Reduced. Euan, you want to talk about Sonic Reduced? What's going on with that?
Oh yeah, because basically it's a reanimated project of the Sat.AM cartoon of Sonic Racer, where Sonic gets challenged to a speed race and has to obviously try and beat the Cheetah Bot, whilst Sally, Bunny, and Antoine have to destroy a power generator in the background.
Another wonderful episode demonstrating that Antoine is useless and they should stay home because he does absolutely nothing but to get everyone in trouble.
Exactly.
I've linked it in the chat, by the way, for those who are interested, but please watch it after the live stream, alright?
Exactly.
Oh.
Yeah, both Euan and I did about 4 clips for it. So
I did about 3. I think, according to Mega, you did maybe about 6. And which made you like the joint 3rd most clips done for this animation.
Hooray! It's mostly boring clips I got. The only thing I like is what Snively using his nose as to press a button.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or the Puma crashing into the camera, spinning around.
Yeah, because I watched the sort of like the live party of it on Discord, and everyone did have a good chuckle at your bits, such as the like the panning in shot of Sally's hut with the no Smurfs sign, as well as the Cheetah Bot crashing into the camera and Snively headbutting the button.
And Sally pulling out the remote out of her ass.
Oh, they did notice that? Oh, that's cool. And Euan, they love your work, but you actually did this on paper, which I can't believe. You did actually frame by frame animation on paper.
Oh yeah, that one. Yeah, I didn't really get much of a response for that one because the problem was before that was the shot of where Robotnik's like head was replaced with Winnie the Pooh, so everyone was laughing at that.
No.
Funny enough, I remember pausing that video and like the Winnie the Pooh one was like right where it landed. I'm like, oh my!
I just want to comment that I like the idea of using an original theme song instead of using the actual theme song. I think it was to get around the copyright thing, because I remember watching it and I thought, hey, this isn't the original the theme song, and but I thought it was a good idea.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah, that is
Yeah,
strange. I didn't think like Fastest Thing Alive would be copyrighted. Yeah. Or at least a victim of that kind of copyrighted strike with YouTube.
Especially since they used all the audio for the rest of the episode. I think it's just an artistic decision.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I haven't really noticed it saying anywhere about it being copyrighted. So I just think he just wanted to just be unique and interesting with it.
The only issue they did had was that YouTube decided to make it like a child thing. The video was children.
Yeah.
Oh, YouTube Kids.
Yeah, YouTube Kids. Yeah, but temporarily, luckily, but still, like, really. Did you even check the video?
Yeah, but I think basically because he kicked up so much fuss on Reddit that a BBC journalist noticed like the hubbub and he was questioning like what was going on and. He basically said what was happening, and apparently the BBC journalist got straight onto YouTube, talked to them about it, and in less than 24 hours later, it was reverted back to general audience.
What the heck? I'm shocked BBC even knows what Sonic is or even cares about that.
Wow.
But yeah, I think it's just because, like, cause, YouTube doesn't really care unless, like, a lot of people cause a lot of fuss over something that could harm their reputation, so obviously that's why they had to quickly reverse back to make it general audience.
Yeah, I understand that. I'm just kind of surprised BBC cares.
Well, applause for BBC.
Exactly.
They finally
good.
I still don't forgive them for what they did with Discworld, though.
Oh no.
So, I did notice, like, and we do have a screenshot of it on screen. One of the scenes Euan animated. I noticed it seemed like Bunny's voice was coming out of Sally's mouth. I don't know if he did that on purpose.
No, actually, it was an animation error, and Sally was speaking in Bunny's voice. And I was originally going to correct it, but then I thought, no, I'll just leave it in. I'll just have Bunny react to it instead.
Oh. Was that in the original? I didn't remember that.
Yeah, because Sally talking in Bunny's voice.
Oh, that's even funnier now.
So yeah, now Sally gets to sound like Dexter for a bit. Haha.
Yep.
And of course the JoJo references.
Just the one. But it's... I liked it, yeah.
And a lot of sus stuff going on.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there was so many Among Us crewmates all around. How long has this project been going on?
About 4.5 years.
Yeah, that explains it.
Yeah. Because I think it first started out just reanimating the intro, but then Mega decided, like, let's just reanimate a whole episode while we're at it, and decided to go for Sonic Racer. Which I think is an ideal one to go for, because it's definitely one that isn't going to be having all this sort of like negative emotions type things going on that would clash with all the wackiness of the animation going on.
I guess so, yeah. But
Sorry, go on.
I can't believe it. I think this is the 4th of the 5th like animation collab I joined, but it's the only one actually finished. Like I did one with Monsters Inc., where Sala also did voices for me and Luke, and that still sucks.
Is that still in production?
Sorry?
Yeah, it was.
Is that still in production?
That's a good question. I should check around.
Yeah, I was wondering about that, and I checked a bit, and was like, "Oh, check for info on Twitter." It's like, okay. Last thing they posted was a year ago. Apparently, there was some talks that the account got hacked or something. I don't know.
Oh, that's a shame. Yeah, and there's a Lego Movie one I joined a couple times, but yeah, it's not going well apparently.
So I know it's a little off topic, but I kind of want to bring up something about that Monsters Inc. scene you had as voice.
Yeah.
So Disney Speedstorm is a game that just came out, and it's a Disney kart racing game. But like I got into early access, and one of my lines was actually one of the mottos you can have for your character.
Oh wow, that's cool.
Yeah. So I did have something else that I liked more, but then I unlocked that one. I'm like, wait a second. I said that's me. So I have that one equipped.
That's nice. Okay, I'm checking the Monsters Inc. Discord, and it's kind of depressing because I see someone like, "Oh, look, I finished a scene like 3 months ago," and there's like no response. So now I feel sorry for that poor guy. But yeah, it seems to be dead. I guess nobody's in charge of it anymore.
That's sad.
Yeah, so I guess it's just a scene. My scene on its own now. Oh well.
Yeah. I kind of had some thoughts, like, oh, maybe one day I'll join one of those animation collabs, but it's like, I've been adjusting to, like, drawing stuff on my own and doing better at it, but haven't got quite into the patience yet.
At least the advantage of these is that you can just do a quick scene that is just one shot or something, so at least saves you the stress of finishing a whole cartoon.
Yeah, that's
this is like, 20 minutes almost? Let's see.
You could just animate via Gmod.
Yeah, I think or Source Filmmaker, I did experiment a bit with trying to animate in the SFM, and I know in Gmod there's like different ways, kind of like stop motion is kind of animation, but I know there's an animation tool in there, so maybe one day I'll do it. But for now, at least I was able to join that Nightmare Before Christmas YouTube poop collab.
Hi.
I did notice there were some scenes in Sonic Reduced that were done in perhaps Source Filmmaker, but yeah, definitely ones that were done with 3D models instead of hand-drawn.
Yeah, and of course, I always enjoyed seeing like the characters revert back to their Archie Sonic designs, whether it's from the old canon or the new canon. And then the one scene with Sally, Bunny, and Antoine, like up on that roof before they jump down to shut down the backup generators. Like, oh hey, those are J.C. Thornton's models. I know that guy.
Speaking of that scene in particular, there was always like the funny moment in the original where like Bunny just inexplicably rips off a glass window and just tears it like paper for some reason. So whoever animated that scene this time just had her like actually tear the background.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah,
it's like clever.
Yeah, it was like something out of Chowder there.
Yeah, it makes me regret, like, wish I thought of that sort of moment when seeing it. It's like, but I suppose that'd be for the future, but for something else, obviously.
I know what you mean. I couldn't really think of good gags either. It's not really my style of thinking. We're not made for reanimations like this. Oh.
Yeah.
One part that I thought was pretty impressive, because there was like so many different art styles, was the part when Antoine was on the machine and it was starting up and the belt thing started moving and he started bouncing around on it. It was like several different drawings. It wasn't just one artist, probably.
Yeah, every single frame for that shot was someone else.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really wanted to join that, but it was a bit too late. So, oh well. Because I think it was
I was looking for both of you, but yeah.
Well, I mean, it was listed in the corners of who did who. Or what?
Yeah, I know. I watched that frame by frame, looking out for both of your names.
Sorry,
and neither of you popped up.
We weren't involved there. No.
Yeah, I was being, and of course I was trying to be a little different for each one. So, for the Sonic Reduced title, that was like all done in Flash completely. Then the next one, which was the Sally, Bunny, and Antoine shot, that was drawn on paper, coloured in Photoshop, and then animated in Flash. And then the final shot, which was only less than a second, was completely done in scrap mechanic, and that was just me desperately trying to rely on the game to actually have the hover unit crash into the wall and explode.
Oh yeah, the game's actual physics, yeah.
Yeah, because that was that took multiple attempts to get that right.
Still a lot of work, but hey, at least you didn't have to draw anything. Anyway, yeah, it was a fun project. So,
yeah, a nice way to celebrate the 30th anniversary for Sonic Sat AM, unlike what happened with the new DVD release. Oof.
No, yeah, that one. But yeah, I think I've heard that another project I'm working on, the OMG Most Original Sonic fanfic reanimated project, apparently that's now all finished and will be uploaded sometime next week.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
Active all of a sudden.
Yeah, because I basically did the one shot with Onis, who where I animate him as like the Family Guy version of William Shatner. So he's like dotting all over the place as he's at almost every syllable.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember, I think one of my favorite bits is with, like, oh, I am Death the Hedgehog, I am Shadow's long-lost cousin, blah, blah, blah. Oh, okay. I am your best friend now! But what about Tails? Tails! Psh.
Yeah, I think you might get a chuckle from some of those, from those reanimated shots.
Oh wait, is that the one you also animated a part of, like, children or something like that? Those two Sonic recolored children or something?
Yeah, that was the thing I was referencing, like how Connors is like dotting all over the place as William Shatner from Family Guy, and like Winky, I think she's called, just basically just popping up and being like, "And I inherited your speed."
Alrighty, so yeah, Sonic Reduced. Watch it if you want to, I suppose. Alrighty, so I guess now we're gonna say goodbye to Sylvia, who doesn't care about talking about the rest of the stuff. Or do you want to stick around?
I'll stick around. I'm having too much fun joining in. And oh look,
Yay!
there's a question from Sonic-kun. Does anyone know how to swap characters in Sonic Frontiers Update 3?
No idea.
No, I don't know.
I haven't touched.
Continue
it yet.
the story.
You press the off switch.
Yeah, if you're stuck playing as Amy, then just follow the gray rhombuses on your compass to go to the places that you're supposed to go to, and eventually it'll switch you to Knuckles, and then do that again, and it'll switch you to Tails, and then do that again, and it'll switch you to Sonic, and that's as far as I've gotten.
As far as I know, during the entire storyline, you're never able to swap by yourself. It only happens during the story if the story dictates so. Maybe if you finish it, you can freely swap it. I hope so. But I haven't been able to finish it yet, so...
So it pretty much works like that final level in Sonic Adventure 2?
Yeah, kind of like that. Except then in the open world version.
Yeah.
I mean,
So yeah, you feel free to take as much time as you want with any character, but like...
That was so frustrating for
that's
me because
basically
I played as Amy first, but she's completely level 1 and I couldn't find any rings or anything. So I thought, okay, I guess I just have to continue the story for a while and then I can officially start. Except then I accidentally beat her entire segment, and it was already Knuckles. I was like, I didn't do anything as Amy. It's so confusing. Yeah, I guess we're gonna. Yeah, go ahead.
Before I had the chance to play, because I was doing stuff when the update dropped. My old roommate from back in Montana messaged me saying I'm so tired of playing as Amy, and when I finally got around to playing it, Amy's segment was done in an hour, and it didn't even take long. What are you doing? He says, I don't know what I'm doing. I said, just follow the gray rhombuses. He's like, oh, I turned those off.
Derp.
Wah, wah, wah. But yeah, the game really doesn't give you much guidance. It just drops you in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
that is definitely a problem I've heard a lot and agree with, is that they don't really explain too much of what you're supposed to do, what you can do, how new things work and stuff like that.
Especially since Amy can suddenly float, which was never natural to her before. I mean, if you played as Tails and Knuckles first, then it might have been muscle memory, and Amy does that too. But Amy's the one you start at, so you don't really assume she can float like that.
Yeah, floating with cards,
Yeah, I did find.
Alright, no one told me about how to do that.
Sorry, Luke, what did you say?
So I was just saying, I did find her jumps really floaty, and I was completely stuck at this marker challenge where you have to go through these square rings in a certain order, and I keep screwing it up because I think you have to go around the sides first, and there's this one that's really high up, and I have no idea how to get up there or what the actual order is. So I was like, okay, I'll try again, try another one.
Yeah, this DLC is quite difficult. It's quite something. What really surprises me is you have 3 new characters, right? And they all have a floating ability. So I'm kind of wondering, why don't you just put them on their own unique island and design an island around their floating ability? I mean, you go out of your way to make Amy suddenly floating, which was never before. I assume to make her fit with Knuckles and Tails. But then they still make Sonic playable on the same island anyway, so then the island is still designed for Sonic. So their abilities are never really used. So that's such a weird design choice for me.
or overused. Like, not overused, but like with Tails, he's overpowered when it comes to flying. Because
Especially when you lock his airplane.
Yeah, because it tells you, like, you have to go to this spot on some floating block thing. So from up high, you just float down straight to where you need to be instead of needing to do a parkour sort of thing.
Exactly, the island isn't really designed around their abilities, so why don't you just put Sonic, Tails, and Amy in their Knuckles, Tails, and Amy, on their own specifically designed island for those abilities, and give Sonic a different island, or better, just don't make Sonic playable because we already played as Sonic anyway. Because I spend more time playing as Sonic than the rest anyway. Oh, what was that, Luke?
Oh, that was me, but
oh, right, yeah.
I do think it was funny that, like, not from a lack of trying, certainly, but I don't think I completed a single one of Tails or Knuckles' platforming segments the way they were intended.
I bet, yeah.
I tried very hard to, but I couldn't, and I just end up accidentally stumbling across a way to do it, to get around it by floating.
Made me chuckle that one part was today when Roger was playing. I just watched a little bit because he was struggling with these cannons that were shooting at him, and he thought it was a puzzle. That he had to solve a puzzle with those cannons shooting at him. He had to hit a wall with them, like bouncing them off. He was getting so frustrated with it. But then I said, like, why don't you defeat those cannons? Just blow them all up. And so he did, and then he was like, oh, so it wasn't a puzzle.
Because it was such a setup, because the camera goes in a specific spot, and you see all those balls flying around with a wall that is breakable. So it felt like a puzzle to me, but yeah, I guess I overthought about it. Oh well.
Alright, so real quick, Ollie in the comments did mention that Amy could float in Sonic Heroes, and kind of. It was a lot different that way. It's more of like a hover than a float, where she could get a little bit of extra distance, like kind of like Peach in Mario 2.
All right, fair enough. Although there I just assumed Cream kind of helped out on her because it's a team. Like Amy.
No, that was specifically one of Amy's abilities. Is like if you hold the jump button, she will start spinning her hammer and float like a helicopter.
Right, fair enough. I'm just saying. I assumed because they're a team, like they kind of like inform each other's abilities a little bit or add a little to it. But yeah, never mind. All right, fair enough. I suppose Amy did float, but yeah.
It was a different form of floating, but yeah, close enough.
I'll float down here.
You don't float down here!
You murderous clowns. But yeah, I guess we won't go into spoilers just yet, even though there's not that much to spoil. But yeah, there's a couple little story details I like. Like, you get a little more interaction between the Ancients and even the Elder Cocos, which I appreciate. But yeah, not much happens, really. Like a lot of Ian Flynn fiction.
Roger, I was receiving I was receiving these weird black-looking Cocos, but I don't know what to do with them yet.
Oh, those viewers. Yeah, you need them as Sonic to unlock towers.
Right.
So they doubled the amount of items you need to collect. But yeah, so when you open a treasure box, you get these weird like viewing Cocos or something, right?
Right.
Lookout Cocos, yeah.
Lookout Cocos, yes. Yeah. So you need them as Sonic because then you can unlock the towers.
Yeah, but because that's something they didn't really explain. It was like, hey, I found a Lookout Coco. Now what?
They don't explain anything, no.
And I believe Roger pointed out something it's a good idea to definitely get those while you're playing as Tails, Amy, and Knuckles, because they're harder to get as Sonic.
Yep, so explore what you can with the other guys, because they can fly. Oh, granted,
like Sonic's primary way of getting them is like finding just random ones on the ground, or doing cyberspace stages.
Yay!
Oh, really? You get them in the cyberspace stages? I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, instead of, like, vault keys like you got in the base game, any mission you clear gives you a lookout Coco.
Okay. Oh, that's neat. Even though you don't need that many of them, but right. But yeah, I played a couple cyberspace levels, but I didn't finish a single mission yet. I was just happy I finished the cyberspace levels at all. Whew!
They are definitely rough.
Well, I don't mind the challenge, but it's not challenging as in it's designed as a challenge, but more it's just weirdly designed and confusing.
So Kaizo?
Something like that. But yeah, I just uploaded a video about it, so that explains what I mean.
I'll link it in the chat.
But yeah. And right before the final boss is one challenge, which really takes a lot of time, which like immediately make me lose all my interest in playing it. Like it's a trial that goes on. That can go on for a half an hour or 40 minutes, and if you fail, you have to start all over from the beginning. So I'm immediately like, fuck that. Like I have way too much things to do to waste like hours to get through this. I kind of lost motivation. Look, there's challenge, and then there's just straight up wasting my time, and my time is precious.
Don't know why I find that funny.
Because you think I waste my time. All you do with your time is make shitty cartoons, Roger. Don't be so proud of yourself, you worthless sack of nothing. That's what you're saying to me, right? There you go. Perfect. Perfect explanation point there.
So, Roger, what 3 words would you use to describe the Sonic Frontiers DLC?
Oof. Hard. Empty. And messy. There you go.
I was expecting frustrating, confusing, and
Well, it's kind of funny. It was frustrating at first, but then the game just broke my brain, and I couldn't even get frustrated anymore. I just had a blank stare on my face. I'm just like, I can't even get angry anymore. My brain is
Yeah, when Roger got quiet, I got worried.
I spent the last hour just staring at mouth agape and just my brain floating away. Like, I don't know what's going on anymore. It's quite the experience. They're doing a lot of things I appreciate, but boy, is it rough, yes.
And we had some ice cream to cool down your brain.
Indeed, we did. But yeah, Luke, so you were playing this as well. So you didn't get past Amy then, or?
I did start out of it. I didn't like play a lot of it. Because I was stuck trying to do that marker challenge. And also because I did find her jumps really floaty. Because when I was doing another one, I had to do on these platforms. I was just so nervous I might fall. And yeah, it was. Not too bad. I mean, it does get a bit confusing where you're supposed to go. And I like how unique it is. Like, you can actually play these characters other than Sonic for, like, a really long time. And an interesting idea, like, you can make Amy throw cars like she's Gambit. And they find it a bit like she's using a hammer in a very limited fashion, though.
I'll say this about the missions. I think they're all designed around Sonic. Like I said before, the island is primarily designed for Sonic. So unless the mission makes you go somewhere, then you have to want to play as Tails because then you can cheat as hell.
Yeah.
But
I did encounter one of the guards. I think it was like a Ninja Plus, and because I think I was very low level, so I just ran away.
That's a good idea, probably. Yeah.
That was the smart move. I guarantee you.
Didn't you defeat that one, Roger?
Yes, but I'm playing on easy, and I did that. That was after I already got their levels up to 99. Like when I started as Amy, I couldn't even find rings. I was just running scared as well. But yeah, eventually I destroyed a couple of them. But I was a couple hours into the game.
Doing better than me.
There you go. Well,
I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Tank Plus is the stuff of nightmares.
It takes quite a while to break through its defense. Yes.
The tank was already kind of annoying in the base game, but I'm like, okay, I know how it works now. I could probably beat it. And then it started shooting lasers at me. I did not appreciate it.
No, I can imagine. Anyway, I shouldn't really spoil too much, but there's one thing I would say. Don't worry too much about leveling up Tails, Knuckles, and Amy, because they don't really do anything in the story. They don't get a boss. It's only Sonic gets really the tough thing. So with Amy, Tails, and Knuckles, you can technically ignore everything and just go straight for the story missions.
Well, you could go collect those what do you call those little bits things that you get from the Koroks? I mean, the Cocos with the backpacks.
Yeah, yes, you can.
To level up those power up, like different moves and such, or learn those moves. I mean, that's something interesting to go for. But besides that, yeah, just keep going.
Yeah, I mean, it's fun to level them up, and they have awesome abilities, but you never need them. There's just never a point where they have to fight or do any kind of challenge, unless you're purposely sending them to one of the enemies on the island. But it's always optional. So yeah, kind of disappointing.
Yes, I did say Korok on purpose because the Cocos were also wearing the same kind of rucksacks that the Koroks were wearing in Tears of the Kingdom. Like, did they copy from Tears of the Kingdom?
I was thinking that too. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's kind of obvious they stole a lot from the Tears from Zelda.
It is kind of funny that like a lot of people were already comparing the Cocos to the Koroks from Breath of the Wild, and then Tears of the Kingdom comes out, and they're like, write that down, give him a rucksack.
Yeah, because the Koroks with the rucksack weren't introduced in Breath of the Wild yet. They appeared in Tears of the Kingdom for the first time. So then now this DLC comes out, and then the Cocos are wearing rucksacks. I'm like, yeah, that's definitely copied. That's too much of a coincidence.
Too bad you can't attach rockets to them or catapult them into.
Yeah, that's a shame. Yeah.
If only.
If only, yeah.
If only.
But yeah, DLC. I mean, I appreciate Sonic Team giving us free DLC. It's quite a lot of content. But yeah, get ready for a challenge.
It is a beefy update, and I do appreciate how much effort they did put into it.
Even all new cyberspace levels of music, yeah.
Yeah, oh my, and the I don't know if it's in every cyberspace stage, but the one I played has a gear mechanic where the longer you boost, the faster you go.
Oh, that's something for you, yeah.
Yeah, oh my gosh, it was so cool. It's a shame that like the cars on that stage have just like enormous hitboxes and they will steal your momentum.
Yeah, that's the challenge, I suppose.
Yep.
I do appreciate how you can play these characters again after such a long time, not counting the Boom games.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. It's too bad they're a little underutilized.
17 years since these characters have been playable in a mainline game.
Ouch, that is painful. Only in spin-offs, yep. But yeah,
someone is thanking the Team Sonic for the DLC. How dare you? How dare you? Oh wait, I think you're Dutch, so I'm saying like, hoe durf je? Hoe durf je?
Maybe.
Why? That's we should be thanking them. Frustrating as
thanking them for all the frustrations you've given Roger and other players. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love the challenge. I love the ball lake.
A lot of people love it for the challenge. Yeah. I did say I love it. I'm just grateful. What was it?
I did like have instant regret because like I said multiple times that I thought Sonic Frontiers was too easy even on the hardest difficulty, and then this DLC shows up and I'm like, oh god, oh no, oh poor Roger.
Yep.
Well, that's Sonic Team. They do listen to you, but they listen to you extremely. Just like they heard people compliment them for referencing tarot cards with Amy, so it's like, oh, you love her with tarot cards, huh? Tarot, not carrot cards.
Tarot cards.
So now she's
it's not even.
Yeah.
It's not even tarot. It's tarot.
Oh. Tarot cards.
Roger's sister is saying it wrong. How dare she?
Oh well, maybe that's how it's pronounced in Dutch. It's just your English for speaking it very weird. But yeah, they're really putting a lot of emphasis on our cards now. So there you go.
And Roger was my alarm clock this morning because he was playing Sonic Frontiers DLC. I was still asleep, and 5 minutes before my alarm would go off, I just heard screaming and agonizing noises coming from the living room. Well, I'm awake.
Yeah, I was doing the mission. Exactly. I was doing the missions as Amy. That was a bad idea. I should have played as Sonic. Like, those missions are really designed for Sonic and not for the others. Amy has a very high jump, so that really didn't work for that particular mission. You have to do those paraloops on very tiny platforms, and every time you fall in a big chasm, and it takes like 10 minutes to climb back up. This DLC really loves wasting your time. It really loves wasting your time. That's the most frustrating thing. That is difficult is one thing, but it's so time consuming on top of that. Like, I know you love putting your big, this game is 60 hours long, this game is huge. I'd much rather have a game that's only 2 hours, but at least keeps to the point, instead of just wasting my time. It's like, I don't care if the game takes 500 hours to complete if I'm just doing the same thing over and over again.
Yeah, or like those that the boss fights that you have to do at the fifth tower. I'm not gonna say too much. I'm like, but we've already done this in the previous gameplay of Sonic Frontiers. Why do we have to do it again? Why couldn't they just make something with this part?
Oh well. But yeah, I think we said enough before we spoil too much.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah.
Hopefully not too spoilerish for you, Rhino.
Dun dun dun.
Only time will tell what he responds with.
Indeed, we'll get very angry comments. All right,
How
yeah.
dare you spoil this for me? Thumbs down.
Exactly. But yeah, I don't know if we ever do a full dissected on it. I don't think it has enough content for that. Although I did make a video about one level, so maybe I will. Maybe we will.
So you could watch that. Hold on, let me link it.
Again?
I mean the Sonic Frontier Sage's birth video. I'll link that in the chat.
Not what I was referring to, but sure, yeah, you can link that as well. Why not? Cool.
I'll just reference it.
Advertising.
Advertising indeed.
Though I think Roger rather forget about it.
About Sage's birth?
What?
Well,
Yeah, because he forgot to mention me again.
Yeah. I am
Poor
you.
Euan, yeah.
I am everything. That was fun to do.
Including me.
Yeah.
It was. I did like the I am the end credits.
Yeah. So that last line that I said, like, I am you, I am everything. That I am everything is something that I added, and Roger was like, ooh, spooky. I was saying Roger, I did that on purpose, as if it was like an error in the system, like, oh no, I'm part Roger, like, Roger.
I was wondering about that. Why'd you say his name like that?
Because Roger likes to make a fool of himself, a joke about himself, so I thought, like, I'll just join in, I guess, and just say Roger, because why not?
Nah, she's just glitching. Or has another virus.
Glitching because there's a Roger in her.
And the final line of Gottfried Gilbert, computer, was also ad-libbed by Milton.
Oh, yeah, that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I just had, like, one line in the whole cartoon, but then I'm like, oh, let's just ad-lib a bunch of random crap just for the hell of it and see if any of that makes it into the cartoon, and yeah, the last one made it in.
I did like it.
Get the money.
Why must you torture me like this, Daddy? Yeah, like the other bits that didn't make it in were just a few quick ones, like accessing the egg net and your sound card works perfectly.
Nice.
Obviously, it does.
Oh god, imagine Gilbert Gottfried as his sat nav. You're arriving at your destination.
Yeah, funny enough, that one with the sound card, but that's actually based off of a video called I think it's called Gilbert Gottfried does your favorite video game lines, and it's pretty much that was one of them.
Cool.
Oh,
So Euan,
yeah,
go on.
yeah, go on. What do you want to ask you?
All right. So Euan, do I have to start calling you father now because you did the voice of Eggman? Yes, father.
No, you don't need to.
Thank God. Thank God.
Are you sure? Are you sure, Euan?
Maybe in some private place.
I know. I mean, if I was fully aware of what was actually happening in the cartoon, I would have actually did some additional voice lines, sort of him go like "Woo, sort of thing. But I was only did the lines that Roger asked me to do, and even then, one of them I was told to do was never got used in the end, which was research, which would have probably come up after, like, the whole bit with Melting Man saying, like, do you want to back this up about mustached women?
Yeah.
Sexy
Babes with
women.
mustaches.com.
It's research.
So that reminds me, I actually I agreed to voice Sonic for this like really early in the morning. I had just woken up and I'm like, sure, I can do that. Give me like an hour, and I'd completely forgotten about it until like that night. I was streaming the DLC, and I just like get a message from Roger like, "How you enjoying the DLC? Can you get me those lines?" Oh crap!
Before I went to work, Roger was being like, "Yeah, I just have to wait for Sala's voices, but he's probably asleep right now." Ooh, yeah.
I didn't know you were streaming. That makes it sound awkward. Yeah, I didn't.
Even funnier, I decided to record them on stream.
Oh wow.
Oh, okay.
Which is great because like no context whatsoever. It's just like, where are your pants?
I am his pants.
Yeah, walks up to one of those Guardian Plus characters. Where are your pants?
Yeah.
Your chat must have loved that. Perfect.
Yeah, fun to voice. Yeah.
Alrighty.
And I finally got to show off my Gilbert Gottfried impersonation in a video.
Yeah.
Something outside of the live stream shenanigans.
Indeed. Unfortunately, I couldn't really draw a very good Gilbert. Maybe some other
I
time.
thought it was good.
Yeah, I thought it was decent.
Yeah.
Funny enough, I just recently learned that there was an episode in the Aladdin cartoon where Iago was cursed and he ended up with the actual head of Gilbert Gottfried.
Ah.
Oh yeah, I remember that episode.
Well, South Park style is a photo. Sounds fun. I should look that up. Crazy cartoon. Speaking of cartoons, shall we move to Sonic Superstars?
Yes, father.
Yeah.
Don't call me father ever again.
Awkward moment when you're saying that to him in bed.
Indeed.
Yes, Daddy.
No.
Oh my! I thought I was the one making the
That's just terrible to say. I don't see why people do that, like calling their boyfriend, husband, whatever. Like, yes, Daddy. Like, why? No.
Just to make the whole situation awkward.
It's somehow sexy for some people. I don't. Bleh. Do we have a good sound for that to just flush our minds? Cool. This combination.
Now we needed Elise's. Oh no. Alas.
Anyway, let's continue to the next subject.
Yes,
Exactement.
Supersonic. With Amy Rose showing how you must look while you call your husband Daddy.
No. You're gonna sleep on the couch now.
Indeed. Yeah, so anyone wants to give a synopsis of this crazy cartoon and all the crazy stuff that happens?
Fang, Neck. How should we call him? Fang or Neck? I keep mixing up.
Fang the Sniper, I guess.
Wasn't it the Hunter?
Yes, Hunter.
Oh, no, it's a Hunter. He's so many names.
But yeah,
Let's
Hunter.
call him Bob.
Okay. Fang encounters the gang as he stole an emerald yet again, I suppose. And they have an epic fight. Then there's trouble with his vehicle because Tails messed up with it while Sonic was distracting Fang. Goes into trouble, it breaks. Then Amy knocks some sense in him while looking very creepy with her evil teeth along with Sonic and Tails. Then he wakes up as he's traveling along with Eggman and Trip. Was it?
Trip,
Yeah.
Through some ruins, Trip sees some flowers being all like, oh, look at those flowers, and then Eggman just plows over them like it's nothing, and then Trip is very sad about it. Oh no, those pretty flowers. And then they end up in a big room. Eggman investigates some ruins while Fang investigates the area. Being attacked by a big snake, with Trip getting in trouble too. While Eggman is doodling on his paper notepad, and then Fang defeats the snake somehow. I'm just saying it in short because just in case some people have not seen it. He defeats the snake, is super proud about it. Then Eggman turns around, shows his notepad, being proud of what he has doodled on it. And that's pretty much it, I guess.
Pretty much,
Mad
yeah.
cow.
Yeah, it's a bit of a weird cartoon because it doesn't really stand alone, so you're kind of wondering where it fits in the game, because it just starts right off in the action where Sonic and friends are already doing something and Fang is already stealing, but then it ends up being a dream, so it's a bit of a weird construction where I'm kind of wondering how it fits. But, yeah. And in the end, it's basically two separate cartoons that don't really have anything to do with each other. Just the only thing that the dream really does is give Fang the inspiration how to defeat the snake later. But yeah, I really love seeing Robotnik, Fang, and Trip working together, doing archaeology stuff. Kind of reminds me of Sonic Adventure 2 with Eggman teaming up with Shadow and Rouge. So I always love it when Eggman is in the action.
And how the animation looks with, like, if you like pause at times, Sonic having extra eyes, like smear animation. There's a lot more of those in the, which is fun to see.
People love that, yeah.
Yeah, or Eggman suddenly showing his eyes for a second because his glasses are being like low for a bit. Yeah. I love the animation. It's really well done. Again.
Yeah, I basically had a big smile on every time Fang was on, just doing his thing, and basically just whether he's like just casually just sitting on his vehicle or basically actually doing something to move the story along. I think it's just because it's been such a long time, and only being fully aware of what this character was about from the Sonic Fleetway comic, so obviously seeing him being in animated form was like a type of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really love how much love and attention Fang is getting these days in the cartoon and comics and the game and such, because way long time ago on DeviantArt, one of our old friends, Zodi, tried to start this campaign called Bring Back Knack, where we all do pictures of fan art, and his plan was that on the anniversary of the character, he's going to post all the fan art on the Sonic Central website. I don't know what became of it, but I bet he's really chuffed now that Fang is officially back.
I don't even remember Zodi doing that. Huh. But yeah, I think his DVD is deleted, so I can check. What is it, Hamilton?
Yeah. I was just going to say, and of course nobody knows about Knack's very long history in Archie Sonic, because nobody reads the Sonic comics.
We'll get there eventually, buddy. Don't worry about it. We still have 10,000 Fleetway comics to go through.
Yeah, man, I was trying to find the ba-dum sound, but now it's too late for that.
Did I ruin it?
No, I was just trying to look for it on the sound bit. It's like, oh, I thought it's in the dissection thing. Like, no, it's on the standard one. Like, I'm too tired. I'm still waking up from this freaking...
We weren't clever enough to add in the ba-dum-ching.
Shame.
Oh, that's always just been more of my very cynical thing. It's like, yeah, I'm an Archie Sonic fan, but of course it's a very, very lonely life being an Archie Sonic fan.
Yeah.
Rhino's asking us a question, apparently. For all of us, because this animation highlight again. What do you guys think about Classic Amy already being now retconned into already being a hero and part of Sonic's team? So I guess kind of going against Sonic Adventure, I suppose. So yeah, what do we think of Sonic Adventure Amy's story being retconned out of existence, I suppose?
I don't suppose that's a retcon, because like, even though like Sonic Adventure was like her big moment to prove herself, like she was clearly capable the entire time, so it seems as if she had experience.
Yeah, but it implied that she didn't really go on adventures yet, which at the time was true, because she had Sonic Drift Racing.
Oh, okay.
Oh, and Sonic the Fighter, but yeah, I guess it doesn't, I don't know. I mean, I guess at this point the canon is so broken, I don't really put that much thought into it anymore.
Yeah, fair enough, yeah.
Especially since Classic Sonic and Modern Sonic are so separated from each other, where Fang can't exist in Modern Sonic and stuff. It's like I just kind of treat them as two separate things now. I mean, technically it does break Sonic Adventure, but I don't know. My brain just doesn't see classic Sonic as part of the original storyline much.
Yeah, there was like that theory for a while that Sonic Generations created a divergent timeline, and that's where like Sonic Mania takes place. And I guess you could say the same for Sonic Superstars, but I think they like already disproved that theory because Takashi Iizuka doesn't know what he's talking about. So
no. But yeah, I kind of see the point. But yeah.
Yeah, I just don't put too much thought into
just like Sonic Team
things like that. Yeah, because I can still believe that Sonic Superstars takes place before Sonic Adventure, and just Amy just wasn't really putting too much thought into. I don't even remember her saying she didn't go on adventures, but whatever.
And also, especially when you have a game with multiple playable characters, I always question how much anyone does, because it's very often implied that even though you can like beat Sonic 3 and Knuckles with Tails, it's implied that Tails himself didn't really accomplish most of those things. So I guess you can kind of vaguely think that maybe, even though technically you can play as Amy Superstars, maybe her actual contributions in canon is minor. Yeah.
Or maybe Adventure is just her first solo outing. And
that is also true. And she did did everything with teamwork. That's possible. Or hey, maybe this takes place after Sonic Adventure, and it just kind of temporarily went back to their old outfits. It's like
after the whole Metal Sonic predates Silver Sonic thing, I could believe it.
Yeah, best not to think about it anymore. It's broke. What is it, Meltaway? Sorry.
Oh, yeah, Sala wasn't he just mentioning the Sonic CD retcon that they did for Origins?
Yeah.
Yeah, I really hate that with how it's like, oh, you fight Metal Sonic, and then you fight Mecha Sonic. Yeah, really downplaying on the whole deal of Metal being, like, the ultimate robot copy of Sonic, if you have this big fucking bulky thing be, like, the next opponent you fight next.
Yeah. I could believe the Mecha Sonic from Sonic 3 being, like, an upgrade of Metal Sonic, but not the one from Sonic 2.
Yeah. And especially not the 8-bit version of Sonic 2.
The goofy-looking one?
Yeah. I mean, at least in RT Sonic's new timeline, they kind of added that particular robot was more of a prototype of the Mecha Sonic from the Death Egg.
Cool. Wow, we should, like, read those Archie comics or something. I don't know, they sound kind of interesting.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, maybe in the next century or so.
Exactly.
Sometime.
Maybe after I finish RT Sonic character files and I have no more characters to talk about. Ha ha.
There you go. Well, we're just waiting.
I'm sure there's not that many characters.
Nah, not at all.
Hold that laundry list. Yeah, this and that, and this and that. Oh yes, and we can't forget about Bimmy the Echidna, clearly the most important Echidna in the bunch.
Please tell me that's the real name of a character.
Yes, there is a character in RG Sonic that's literally just called Bimmy the Echidna. And he's clearly the best character because his name is freaking Bimmy. Even though he gets like 1 or 2 cameos, but fuck it, he's the best character. Next to Red Pine, they're the best.
I just can't believe that's an actual name. I thought that was just a typo in that Double Dragon game.
I hope that's what they were referencing, because that is such a funny thing from Double Dragon. Jimmy and Bimmy.
Yeah. Bimmy and Jimmy? Yeah. So now we have Bimmy the Echidna. Just don't tell the angry video game nerd about it.
Indeed. Hey, look, you drew the artwork I'm showing now, right? Was this for the Zodi contest then?
Oh, you mean like the showdown with Knack? Yeah, because I think I was playing Gun at the time, which is like it kind of predates Red Dead Redemption, because I like the idea of Fang being like this bounty hunter gunslinger. So I did this all traditional looking to give it that Wild West looking feel to it.
Oh, nice. That would have been your contribution, but it wasn't to be. But hey, now it's here.
Euan also contributed You
Contributed.
that word, yes. Euan also did one for the Zodi neck thing, which he shared in the chat.
Nothing as special though compared to the effort that Luke put into his, which is like, you know, all backgrounds, including the horse and like the random person there.
And coloring it with pencils. Oh, that's so time consuming.
Yeah, it was back when I used to do traditional art before I used Photoshop elements and went on to digital art, because most people on most popular deviations were mostly digital.
All right. Rhino says that Melting Man, why aren't you complaining that Amy was the main nightmare to Fang? As a reference to something in Marchie in the comments? I don't know.
Dude, I think they're referencing the Sonic Superstars cartoon?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Well, I'm thinking it's like, you know, Archie references.
Saying that Amy was a nightmare for Fang in the Archie comics?
Yeah,
Is that what he means?
I think
I was yabbering on. I forgot I had the mute button on. Right. Right. So yeah, the whole deal Rhino's pointing out is so in Archie Sonic, mostly in the old continuity, Knack is very terrified of Amy. Yeah, so yeah, if it's a reference to that, I don't know. I imagine it's just pure coincidence, like the whole deal with like, oh, movie Sonic having the emeralds formed together, the Master Emerald. Yeah, that's like almost exactly how the Master Emerald was formed in Archie Sonic's old canon. But I'm sure that's pure coincidence and nothing, because I doubt Sega even remembers Archie Sonic.
Yeah, but this isn't made by Sega themselves. It's made by fans, this animation, right? I mean, Sega has approves of it, but...
Yeah, because I mean, it's written by the usual Ian Flynn and directed by Evan Stanley.
Yeah, and Tyson Astley was involved, so there's chances they are very familiar with Sonic Archie. And considering their opening sequence is a nightmare specifically from Fang's perspective, so he specifically thinks of Amy as his nightmare person, that could definitely be an Archie reference.
I do remember a panel in Archie where Knack was being kicked in the nads, but I can't remember if it was by Sally or Amy.
Oh yeah, that
Sally.
was Sally. That kicked him right in the crotch. Even though he, yeah, it's funny, and yet at the same time, like, how could it be painful? He got no dick.
Well, it's probably retracted somewhere. But,
yeah, he has retractable vaginals. Yeah.
I don't want to think about that.
Like
Yeah,
landing
the only
here on
time
a
something
plane.
like that happened.
It is certainly a question every Rule 34 artist has had to ask themselves about Sonic. Where is his dick?
Yeah. Then
Hammerspace.
Yeah, they don't care. Well, they don't care. It's like, oh, okay, time for the Sonic porn comic. Okay, drawn normal, blah blah blah. Sexy babe comes out. Oh, suddenly penis.
Yep.
Fingers.
Do it.
Okay, Rhino has another question thing. Oh, and because I have the chance now, what do you think about the way they now handle Fang's name current?
Same with Dr.
I think it's clever.
I don't care anymore. They keep changing his fucking name all the time. Might as well have called him Jimmy the Johnson or something.
Jimmy the Johnson. My favorite NASCAR driver.
A red pine or purple pine.
Purple pine.
Dennis the Menace.
Bob.
Yeah, I don't care. I'll probably use all those names interchangeably because my brain can't keep up.
Yeah, pretty
Pretty
much, yeah.
Just like
Willie
Robotnik and Eggman, I also kind of use them interchangeably. I don't care.
Willie Johnson.
Yeah, and for me, I don't care. He'll always be Knack the Weasel to me.
There you go.
Too many of us, it will.
Or Mac.
I find it.
Yeah,
I find it very telling that, like, for so long I've referred to him as Fang mainly because of Sonic the Fighters is where he's like most prevalent in my mind. Because I never got far in Sonic Triple Trouble, I kind of gave up on that quick. But yeah, he's in Sonic the Fighters, and I definitely played a lot of that. But yet, when Sonic Superstars was first revealed, and I saw him right at the end, I immediately shouted Knack. And I found that weird. Cause, like, he's always been Fang to me, so I don't know why I called him Knack all of a sudden. But, you know, I said it without thinking, so I guess he's Knack to me.
He got the knack, yeah.
The knack for hunting. Yeah.
Hey.
There you go.
Oh, now.
Also, I think to the chat, by the way, keep it down a bit with the Archie questions, because we'll be here the whole evening if you keep asking Melting Man about Archie.
Yeah,
I mean, look at this.
I just noticed Godfroth asking me, like, oh, are you going to talk about how Archie handled Amy's change in looks? Like, that's a whole other story to get into.
Yeah, don't ask him questions like that. I mean, just seriously, look at his avatar that he's got on the bottom left. I mean, that's how eager he is just to answer these sort of questions, which we don't have time for.
Yeah. Maybe in the future when we actually start with the Archie comics. But for now, we want to keep the streams within a certain time, not like 12 hours of Archie.
Yeah. Or, just
now that I look at it. Oh, sorry. Now that I'm looking at it, all of our characters on the screen are our reactions to someone asking an Archie question.
Euan has no idea. You're just happy about it. Luke is falling asleep about it. Melting Man is happy, and Roger's just annoyed. And I'm not there. Oh my god.
Whilst Freddy's just basically wide-eyed, like, what's going on?
Freddy's representing Sylvia.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah. Fair enough.
So, yeah. But yeah, Archie Sonic questions, yeah, I don't know. Maybe save them for April if we decide to do another big Q&A live stream.
There we go.
Maybe.
Yeah, I forgot about Sylvia to draw. Sorry, Sylv.
How dare you.
I always forget something.
Just put a stick
Let's see.
or whatever.
Let's see, I got my keys, I got my phone, I got my wallet. Shit, my wife!
Man, I could just imagine that line being taken out of context where it's just, shit, my wife.
Oh god!
Roger, don't you dare. Don't shit. Don't
That
shit me. Don't shit me.
That comma is carrying a lot of weight in that sentence. Punctuation is important, people.
The other one.
Comma, my wife. There you go.
Jeez.
Yeah, I'm not in that one, Roger. Wah, wah. And also, you're looking up for Sylvia, my cat character. You're not looking for me. Ah.
Alright, sorry.
I'm just being evil.
Indeed. Fine, I'll draw you on screen.
Do it. Do it now.
So, any other mentions of such about Sonic Superstar prequel cartoon? The trio, troublesome trio? The duck trio?
So, a tiny thing about it is when I first watched it, I accidentally clicked on the one that had an audio description, and I thought it was just a weird quirk of the video. I'm like, oh, they got a narrator.
Yeah.
I've still yet to watch
That happened to me when I was trying to watch that overview video of the multiplayer thing, because the guy in the video sounds like Sonic, and I thought, I thought this was supposed to be Sonic, like he was doing a bit, was trying to do a Sonic voice, but I found out that's his actual voice, and I wasn't sure I could actually watch the whole video with him sounding like that, so I thought, nah.
Oh god, he's gonna draw me as Amy.
Evil Amy.
What was that, Luke? What did you say?
I was talking about the that overview video for Sonic Superstars for the robot multiplayer thing, because the guy in the voiceover guy, he was sounding a bit like a more annoying version of Sonic, and I thought, is he trying to sound like Sonic, or he's supposed to be Sonic? But I found out that's his actual voice, and I thought he sounded really annoying, and so I was like, I can't watch this, so I was just ticked off.
I can imagine, yeah. Oh, well, voices.
And
there was...
No, you go ahead.
Okay. There was something else about the cartoon. I don't remember if anyone pointed this out, but I was suddenly reminded when I brought up the auto description version, in that, like, there's the mural that Eggman's looking at. The auto description specifically points out that the figures on the mural look like Trip. So there's so there's definitely some significance there.
All right.
It wasn't just coincidence.
I guess we're getting a lot of Trip boss fights based on the Chaos Emeralds. First time we get Chaos Emerald based boss like that since the Chaos.
I do like how this cartoon explains like how Eggman and Trip first met, because from what I looked at, I thought that classic Eggman is getting his own like surrogate child character with Trip, because you got like modern Eggman with Sage.
Good question. He keeps adopting kids. How adorable. He's such a great father.
Such a good guy.
Also, the energy that Eggman has at the end when he finished his doodle, he's like so super proud about, like very happy that he doodled something. And I'm like, I wish I could be that optimistic when doodling something.
Yeah.
Even doesn't look that great.
You need the ego of Dr. Eggman, and that's quite an ego.
I need to become Dr. Eggman, apparently. Yeah.
Yeah.
Challenging your inner Eggman.
Yeah, that image is just brimming with meme material there.
Yeah.
Oh,
like you did, yeah.
Yeah, look at this photograph.
Oh yeah, I did a few random bits like the never-ending portrait, that, and then of course Robbie Rotten reference. Yeah. Now look at this net. Yeah.
Not me.
Yeah. Throw it at him, not me. Let's try something else.
Now watch him.
Let's try some Oreos.
And then I did one. And then I just did one where he just says, "Give me back my effing voice, Sega," because that was mostly just a reference to some people complaining about apparently how the cartoon has like it's mostly mute, but there are moments where like it shows Robotnik like moving his mouth like he's saying something, but nothing's coming out, and people just find it really awkward.
Yeah.
Like, what do you guys think about that specifically?
Yeah, it's especially awkward. Like it reminds me of the ending of Sonic Generations, where in the English dub there's like the scene of classic and modern Eggman yelling at each other. For some reason, they don't say anything in the English dub, but like you could still hear the sound effects of them moving.
Oh, it just makes it even more awkward when you like play the game with like Japanese audio, but the English subtitles are still from the English version, so they don't match at all.
Did the subtitles actually say something when Eggman is having a go at Knack?
I don't remember subtitles. I could probably see what the
like,
audio description
said. You said like the capture of the trio trouble. You said like
yeah.
See, I'll have a look. Go on.
Let's see. Where was it? Okay. It just says that Eggman turns and yells at Fang.
Oh, okay. Would it be funny if they added something in the caption saying like, "You son of a,"
you damn son of a bitch!
But yeah, the point Melty just made about the English subtitles and the Japanese audio not matching, that always bothered me, because like in the Japanese version, you clearly hear like classic Tails say, "Dr. Eggman!" And then the subtitles say Dr. Robotnik, and Robotnik says, "Nobody calls me that anymore." And I'm like, what did he actually say? I want to know what he actually said in response to Tails calling him Eggman.
Yeah, I think in the Japanese version, like the whole deal, oh, he's always known as Eggman, blah blah blah. So I think what happens in the Japanese version is something's like something similar, like, oh, Eggman is like, oh, he had help, like, oh, another Eggman? You seem surprised. Why don't you explain it, future Eggman, or something like that? I don't know. There's a video out there that has it translated.
I'll have to look into that, because I've been wondering about that ever since. But we went off topic again.
Well, we had to go off topic because Roger's been busy drawing.
Yeah, can't be a Dissected Alive without going off topic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
indeed. But I guess it's about time we go back to the Knuckles comic then.
There we go. I'm actually prepared this time.
Then you can do the synopsis.
Oh god.
Well, who? Who has to do synopsis, okay?
Sala, because he's prepared this time.
He gets to do a comic for once. The first one. Traitor of the Lost Pyramid.
That's his punishment for ditching out on the past Fleetway episodes.
Exactly.
Yeah. Because I kept forgetting to read the comics before the stream. Anywho, so yeah, I'll gladly do the synopsis this time. So Knuckles is just hanging around on the floating island as he does when the Omniviewer shows up and the Chaotix crew pop out, and Espio says a British phrase. He says "button it." I've never heard that before. I've always heard "zip it," but all right. Yeah, the Chaotix are here to inform Knuckles that they are looking for, surprise, surprise, Knack the Weasel, who has escaped from jail, and he somehow got to the floating island and is in Sandopolis stealing stuff. Knuckles is confused as to how the pyramid is suddenly unburied, because it was completely covered in sand last time. So they go in, and they get scared by one of the Sandopolis ghosts, the famous creepy ghosts from Sandopolis. Espio gets butcheratied, and then in the next panel, everyone seems completely fine with it. Like, everyone has a smile on their face except Espio, and then move on.
He just grabbed your organs out of your body. No big deal.
Yeah, everyone seems so pleased with the situation. So they move on. They move on. They find Knack. He does not seem the least bit concerned about their appearance. He's busy stealing stuff, and he's even bothered to show them how he's stealing it. Like any good thief would do. And so he also explains, I shrunk down all the sand. So I guess that is very, very, very fine sand. And yeah, he's just shrinking stuff, stuffing them into a chest, and he also fixed the Sandopolis Guardian, and he just leaves them. He's like, oh no, I dropped my shrinking device. I hope that won't come back to bite me. And he just leaves. And while they're fighting the Guardian, they're putting up a decent fight, but apparently it's indestructible. But Knuckles is like, yoink, and he just grabs the shrinking device and uses it, because apparently it's easy to figure out how to use. And so they go out and chase Knack. He's flying away. And they're like, oh no, we'll never get him now. If only we had someone who could fly. And Charmy's like, I can fly. And they're like, shut the fuck up, Charmy.
They even call him useless straight in his face. No.
Yeah. Yep. And he immediately proves it. But thankfully, Knuckles is like, don't worry. I know how this device I've never seen before works now. I can use it to my advantage. And he just unshrinks all of the treasure, and it completely destroys what I guess is the Marvelous Queen. And, they catch Knack, and they're like, alright, we're gonna take him back to jail. And Knuckles was like, aren't you guys gonna clean up this mess with me? And they're like, gotta go! He just vanished.
Wah, wah.
I just remembered, I left the stove on.
I think I hear my laundry calling.
Yeah, typical how rude they are in Fleetway again. Just to straight up to Charmy. No, you're useless. Why are you bothering? And then not even like a moral where he actually does do something useful. Now, more of the story, don't underestimate it. No, Charmy's actually useless.
Yeah, moral of the story, don't be a Charmy.
Poor Charmy.
But yeah, one thing I'm going to have to say about the artwork is the rather unflattering drawing of how Mighty's drawn from behind, because it looks like he's got a gigantic tongue draped over his head.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, Mighty's not easy to draw.
Oh yeah.
You see, it's actually, that's not his shell. Mighty has always just been a big fan of the Rolling Stones.
There you go.
I also noticed that
ice cream liquor.
Fang's Fang is not very proficient here. It's like it's quite small. So in some panels, it looks like he just has an open mouth.
Oh,
Yeah.
Or the teeth. His teeth look like open mouth, yeah.
Yeah.
I guess so.
Yeah.
oh my god, yeah. It's especially bothering me because, like, that's how oftentimes open mouths are drawn in the JoJo manga, so now I can't unsee it. Thanks, Luke.
Yeah, his story's secretly a JoJo crossover.
I didn't even try that time, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
And I also find it funny that just happens to be a random sarcophagus of Tutankhamun in the pyramid.
Yeah, like I'm pretty sure he's just actually grave robbing at this point.
Yeah.
Because the funny is like it opened and there's a mummy inside.
Oh, it's that mummy Robotnik from that one episode of Adventures of Sonic.
Oh, yeah.
I was thinking Amin Rapi from Sonic Underground.
Oh yeah.
What I found kind of interesting about Sonic Fleetway is that they tend to turn zones that have nothing to do with being a city into cities because they keep referring to Sandopolis as a city. Just like they did with Emerald Hill and Mushroom Hill as well. Even though you actually have city zones, but for some reason they want to turn every zone into a city. So, I guess Sandopolis is a city even though it's on an island that's deserted.
Yeah.
Maybe Knight just shrunk the city when he got there.
Yeah.
I guess so.
Oh no, that's gonna be our new running gag is Fang shrunk stuff.
Another thing I want to point out is that when Knuckles turned the Guardian into a tiny figurine, makes me think of the Master's matter decompressor from Doctor Who, which is used to shrink down people. But the thing is, when the people's organs, they get crushed, so they die when they turn to figures. They die instantly.
Ooh, ouch.
I forgot about that detail.
Yeah. Although at times, I was assuming you're going to refer to, like... Well, just seeing how, like, small this guy has become, it just reminds me, like, of how very action figure-y all those shrunken people look in Doctor Who.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I remember, like, I think it was, like, the last Tom Baker story where Tegan's aunt was turned into one of them. You can actually see she looks like an action figure.
Yeah. I know they
A
brought
fake
back
Western death.
I know they brought back that device during the...
They did.
Yeah, the Jodie Whittaker era. Yeah, they brought it back.
And Doctor Who killed the conversation. Shall we move to the next comic then?
Oh, before we do, should we talk about the Knuckles Chuckles segment?
Oh, God.
Ooh, I didn't prepare that one. But yeah, sure, go
All
ahead.
the horrible jokes.
Chuckles with Knuckles. It's just a bunch of awful Sonic jokes.
Yeah, that's stupid bit, yeah.
Like, what? Who can't take chaotic seriously? Espio the comedian.
Hold up, 1 sec.
And then, of course, there's all the...
Oh, God, this one. What's red on the inside and yellow on the outside? Knuckles disguised as a banana.
Yeah, then of course there's the Robotnik one. It's like, oh, Robotnik and going to his exams. Oh, did he do well? No, he was egg-spelled. Hoo-hoo.
And now we know why Knuckles never chuckles. Because these are jokes he keeps being forced to listen to.
Yeah, like even the troopers go and tell jokes. Didn't think they'd have that kind of humor.
Why does Robotnik love to go to the museum? Because of egg hibbits.
Yeah, that one's really stretching it.
I'm having a little trouble with the robot ones though. Mainly because like I'm wondering if there's like a little bit of lost in translation where maybe Luke, Euan, how do you say that that first word, that metal?
What was
Iron?
it, like, iron being tired?
Iron, okay.
Yeah.
Oil
I was-
bats metal fatigue.
I was
Oil
wondering if
bit.
like if I was missing the pun there.
Like iron, feeling tired, iron. Because it sounds similar to iron.
Okay. All right, sure.
It's really talking in a northern accent, yeah.
Yeah.
And iron steel, feeling tired.
I was wondering about because in Canada they pronounce it iron. So I'm like
Iron?
to the British iron, yeah.
So you pronounce it Iron Man.
Iron. I was wondering if maybe the British had like a different pronunciation that I didn't know that it was making me miss the joke, but I guess I was just not forcing it enough.
Yes, Iron from. Man, that's just weird. Say like, oh yeah, I'd be Iron Man, don't you know?
I suppose it's like with aluminium and
Aluminum.
aluminum, yeah.
Okay.
Aluminium.
I typically don't get heated about like differences in how words are pronounced, but I do hate aluminium.
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 Well, I know one pronunciation that kind of surprised me was like in the U.S. we always call it zebra, but then I found out in like at least in the U.K. or so they call it zebra. It's like, oh, that's different.
Zebra.
Or how like Jaguar is different.
Oh yeah, Jaguar.
Jaguar.
Jaguar, yeah. Some of them are genuinely interesting, like that one. Jaguar sounds really cool.
Oh man, I just remembered an old video I did covering like canceled video game consoles, and I talked about like the Jaguar CD, and people got so mad at me because I apparently mispronounced it because I kept saying it's like Jaguar or something.
Jaguar. Wow, that's a very interesting way to pronounce it. Yeah.
You know what? That's actually just a really cool name for like a supervillain, like an electricity-themed Jaguar. I am Jaguar.
Oh yeah, it does sound cool. Jaguar. Pretty cool name.
Mm-hmm.
Not as cool as name as Sylvia and I made up for a stupid Hogwarts and video game we're playing.
Oh, Dumbly the Dumble. Nee, Dumbly.
We're playing the new Harry Potter game, Hogwarts something Legacy.
Hogwarts Legacy.
We want to give like a dumb name for a hero, like Dumbly Dum Dum or something.
Dumbly Dumbledum. That's what it is. Dumbly Dumbledum.
Like it's
yeah, Dumbly Dumbledum. And it's dum dum.
In memory of good old Michael Gambon, who played the second Dumbledore.
Yeah. Went to the sky to meet up with Richard Harris, I suppose.
As soon as he comes, he goes like, "He's putting your name in the fire."
Yeah, Dumbledore asked calmly. Yeah.
Hey, Peter.
So yeah, back to the comic though, because
yes. Right.
Otherwise, Roger's going to grumble.
I always grumble. Just being in Euan's presence will do that to me.
He's being rough and grumble.
Yeah, unlike Knuckles, he always grumbles.
Indeed. So, shall we go to the exciting Jake story? Because we can't wait to find out about Jake, our favorite Sonic character.
Yeah, I could do this synopsis if you want to.
Sure, go ahead. The exciting adventures of Jake.
Okay, so it's night time in the Mushroom Hill Zone, and this egg robo is just plodding around, and he's like looking for someone, and he finds this small bear child like Jake, sleeping in the bed, and Egg Robo's like grabbing onto him, and the townsfolk see him, and he goes off, and Jake's mum is like, "Oh my god, they've taken my child!" So they looked around and said, "Oh, we better contact Knuckles with very pig-looking Egg Robotnik behind them." So whilst what's he doing there? So anyway, Knuckles is saying that where they've taken the child, so he goes to the Lava Reef Zone, even though he's thinking he wiped out all the bad things, so not like he missed one. So he finds the Egg Robo in the craters and tries to fight it, but it seems to be rather tough and almost avoiding the flames. So they have a bit of a fight. And he has to be very careful because of how Jake might be trapped in there. So, but then suddenly the Egg Robo stands up on one of the flame geysers and it catches on fire. And he tries to get Jake out, but then it explodes. So Knuckles has to walk back and figure out how to tell his mum that her child's been blown to bits. So as they're approached by not Howard the Duck saying, saying they want to tell him something. No, not right now. I got to break the news. So he goes in, and it turns out that Jake's actually alive. And they thought, wait, I thought the egg robo took you. He says, no, I was hiding in the cupboard. And so his mum was like, have you got something to tell me? He said, no, it's totally fine. And he walks off at the end.
What a thrilling adventure of Jake.
Yeah.
I feel so sorry for the egg robot when it's on fire. It just stares with his big, wide open eyes to Knuckles. Like, why?
I'm in pain.
It's like, I didn't even do anything.
You don't have a child in me.
And I guess it's death. What?
I have a child in me. No, I don't.
I just wanted to give him candy. Why?
Maybe he had a different
child.
I'm pregnant.
It's actually funny. Like, it's kind of funny that like this entire time we're like going in under the assumption that Jake is inside, and then it like explodes, and then we find out Jake wasn't even in there. So it's like, oh, it's fine. But like the whole point of the story is that the egg robo already had something inside of it and was just looking for a replacement.
Ooh.
So something did die.
That's a good point. There should be a skeleton in there. Oh, typical Fleetway darkness.
Maybe he took the toy car or something.
Yeah.
No, he means the egg robot should have had a battery before this, like a living animal. So if its battery is up,
he did, yeah.
It means the living being it had before is now dead, or no longer providing for energy.
In the first panel that we see our hero Jake, it specifically says its internal electronic power supply. Oh no, never mind. It says electronic power supply.
Ah, that's a shame.
Okay.
Would have been such a Fleetway dark moment.
Egg robot looking a bit too grabby there.
Yeah.
Dude, you're looking at it, where it right on that specific part of him. Like, what does that look like he's doing?
Yeah, bad touch.
Egg robot, why don't you have a seat right here?
Can we have a word for you, Egg Robo? I told you about how you're supposed to grab people. That's not how you do it.
That's groping.
Police, I swear to God, I'm not simping for a child.
I guess that's needed so we don't feel bad when it sets on fire and explodes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess in some way. Yeah, I guess in some ways, like, instead of stealing the child, like, maybe he just wanted a blanket to keep warm.
That's true.
Yeah.
He goes to take the pillow.
I kept waiting for the plot twist to be that the egg robo was actually friendly the whole time, and it's just like, hey Jake, want to go check out the meteor shower tonight?
Yeah, let's sing it to the carnival tonight. Yeah.
Oh man.
No, that actually would be cool if there was like a reformed egg robot. I would be interested to see that.
Yeah.
Sure. Maybe someday.
I also want to point out that a few of the citizens, like you got one character who has a moustache exactly like Robotnik, and also this duck character who kind of looks a bit like Howard.
Yes.
This angry businessman bear in the background. They're very interesting, yeah.
And of course, Johnny's long lost twin, Bobby.
Indeed.
Yeah.
But yeah, indeed, very interesting is an Eggman mustache. It's like someone has a Hitler mustache now or something. From their perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just wondering, like, so how huge that one duck's eyes are. It's just like, compared to everyone else. It's just like...
Mega pissed.
He's super pale.
He went and
They
got
took a child, how dare they?
And then there's like Evil Porker in the back.
Oh yeah, evil Porker.
The kid got stolen.
and mildly concerned bear.
The mildly concerned
suit.
despair.
It could be money bags.
Moneybags.
Oh my god, yeah!
Like, oh,
I'm really going to financially recover from this.
Oh, I can. Oh, yes, I can help you find the child, Knuckles, for a small fee.
Small fee.
Maybe it was the father.
Could be, yeah.
Oh, maybe.
Oh, you know what? That's a fair point. Yeah.
But why?
Then then you'd think he'd be the most upset.
Maybe he's happy he's got. He's like, good riddance, that wrong kid.
Now,
Yes, I just forgot.
Or he's just like, well, when in doubt, let's make another.
He's just like, yes, I just took out the life insurance policy.
I can totally see Moneybags just being that greedy, even as police officers. Like, I can help you find my own son and rescue him for a small fee. That greedy.
Which is very ironic because there actually is a Spyro game, Spyro Shadow Legacy, where it actually does show that Moneybags has a wife and kids. So somehow that bastard was able to fuck.
I will use a condom for a small fee.
And his wife did not pay the fee.
Oh God. Anyway, look at these 3D models of Badniks. Ain't that neat?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool to see. Yeah.
Spike Tower looks very intimidating just because of how the shadows hiding his eyes. So it looks more sinister.
Kind of a little bothered that they don't really explain like where these Badniks actually came from. It's like I know I recognize some of them, like okay, there's one from Sonic CD and all, but I don't know, for some reason I don't recognize the others.
They're all from Knuckles Chaotix.
Yeah, I was about to say, Knuckles Chaotix has a lot of 3D models. So they were kind of
that
toying
explains
around
it.
Only Needle knows he's a returning Badnik.
Yeah, so it makes me kind of wonder what they were planning for Knuckles Chaotix, if they were planning on making a CGI game at first, like a Donkey Kong Country, before they changed their mind or something. Because that game does have a lot of 3D models, not used in-game itself, but in its promotional material. But yeah, that was 1996 when he constantly got thrown with those CGI models. Thanks,
it is funny seeing. It is funny seeing Spike Tower right next to Needle Nose. They do not look like the same art style.
Yeah.
They look like there was like a contest to design a new Badnik, and Spike Tower was made by a teenager, and Needle Nose was made by a 5-year-old.
And TikTok's made by someone who didn't even take it seriously. Like, a clock is evil.
When I first saw the name for Pop Tank, I thought it said Pop Tart.
Okay.
Pop-Tart.
Eggman's just like, I was hungry, okay?
Well, like with all those cannons around, yeah, maybe he actually does shoot Pop-Tarts.
An evil Pop-Tarts. I'll ruin your teeth. And make you fat.
And give you a sugar rush.
I'll give you diabetes. Crazy stuff.
What a spike. Oh, one Badnik just simply called Gotcha.
Yeah. Just
Okay.
Like thing.
I am noticing the trend now where like each robot's zone origin is alliterative. So yeah, these are definitely from Knuckles Chaotix, all of them.
Oh yeah, I'm seeing it. Yeah.
Yeah, even though like obviously Needle Nose did show up in Sonic CD, but I guess
It was a returning Badnik.
yeah.
I think they just had to recycle one because they realised, oh dear, we need another Badnik here. What do? We don't have enough time to.
Regarding the Gotcha Badnik, I can imagine like it's the very old British reference that Noel Edmonds is hiding inside because in his old show he did, which was Noel's House Party. He did this segment called Gotcha where he would play pranks on people, and when he does the prank and reveals himself, he gives them a trophy thing called a gotcha.
Okay, alright.
Yeah, it came out of a gotcha machine from Japan.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing there.
Yeah.
This is where Mr. Blobby originated from.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I heard that,
Blobby blob.
Bloppy, bloppy, bloppy.
But yeah, Wonderful, creepy, always, those mid-90s CGI models.
I miss that sort of CGI.
Yeah, it's
Everything
very
now looks
nostalgic.
too nice. Well, this looks more sort of like, heavier contrast and such, with like heavier shadows.
Yeah, it's very unique.
Because like I mentioned with like Spike Tower, because of how super dark the shadows are, it just makes his eyes look more sort of sinister, like he's squinting, like, oh, so gonna get you. Compared to all the other badniks with all these like big, wide, sort of derpy type eyes, like, hey, hello.
I'm being set on fire, just like the guy from the previous comic.
I'm a clock.
Yeah, time for action. Hoo-hoo.
Just in time is my name. Just in time. Get it? Another Knuckles Chuckles.
But no one's chuckling.
Some people thought it's terrifying as that clock from Don't Hug Me.
Oh my.
Oh god.
Oh, yeah. Time to have a bath.
Yeah, that is nightmare fuel indeed. So, shall we move on to the final comic of this collection? Reflections. Reflections. Yeah, sure.
Should I?
Sure, go ahead.
Okay. So Knuckles is just randomly walking around Mushroom Hill Zone, and he's greeted by the Porker Louise doppelganger called Norcus. But Knuckles basically punches him out of the way and then destroys someone's house. And just says like, I'm the master of this island, and you will all be my slaves. Everyone being like, what the fuck is he on about? Before then a Knuckles comes along saying like, that's an imposter! Wait, I'm seeing double! And then there's like a bit of a scuffle going on between the two as they start fighting it out, whilst Knuckles says, here, hold on to this, but don't look at it. Okay. And then they basically start punching each other into all the buildings and just demolishing everything, until apparently the doppelganger Knuckles beats the real Knuckles, and he says, you have 1 hour to decide your fate. You either become my slaves or I destroy you all. And then once he's left, like, Knuckles just gets up and just says like, oh, that guy was a bore. And they question like, well, why is there like a second one of you? And he's like, well, you see, I ended up stumbling across an old package, which apparently was a mirror. But apparently that mirror became sentient and made a reflection of myself. And apparently it was evil. So now I've got to sort that evil guy out before he causes more problems. And I think the only way to doing it is by tricking him to go into the mirror. So later on, the doppelganger comes back and says like, will you submit to being my slaves? And it's like, Knuckles like, fat chance, like, oh yeah, well, can you catch me? We'll see. But then the doppelganger sees like Knuckles has got in front of him. It's like, so you decided to come and face me then? Well, then I shall end you. But then he realizes it's the mirror, and he gets stuck back in there, and then Knuckles smashes the mirror to millions of pieces with no. And Knuckles has to live with the consequences of 9 years bad luck.
7.
God.
Or was it 7? I lose track of how many like years breaking stuff has on you.
He has 9 years because he already broke mirrors before, I guess. And he still has 2 years left to go with the other one. So now there's another 7 on top of it.
Either that or he walked underneath a ladder.
Sure. But yeah, that was the story of 2 Knuckleses.
It was weird that, like, at the first encounter, Knuckles even considered bringing the mirror. Because, like, all it does is, like, potentially put other people in danger. And also reveal that he still has it to the doppelganger.
Yeah, that's not very smart.
Yeah.
And if it got broken during the fight, it was over for him. So.
Yeah, in fact, he like, takes a hit while holding it in front of him. So, like...
That could have ended it right there, yeah.
Yeah, that would have been very bad, Knuckles.
Yeah, and you'd think, like, the evil doppelganger would go after the guy that has the mirror now, but no, he's like, oh, be my slaves or else. And then he leaves.
Yeah. And then, like, when Knuckles confronts him at the 1 hour mark, rather than fight again, because like Doppelganger Knuckles thinks he's stronger, he instead decides to run away, and then falls right into the trap. So a lot of bad decisions between a lot of variants of Knuckles.
Yeah. Now all we need is some confirmation that one of them was microwaved as a baby. Yeah. Ha ha ha.
That's
Yeah,
very
I'm kind of noticing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just noticing like the amount of village folk that are apparently wearing suits.
Yeah, I was
ties.
wondering about that. Yeah.
Yeah, Knuckles the only naked one there.
Yeah, like isn't that kind of the same with all the other like Fleetway exclusive characters? They all wear shirts, but not like game characters.
But never mind the clothes, but specifically like business suits. Like, what the heck are they doing? Are like doctors and lawyers there in this tiny forest village?
Maybe it's pointing out like that they're just boring people village. Like they're just boring people.
I guess so.
Because boring people wear suits because they're boring and they go to work and do normal stuff while the other characters are naked.
Either that or they're passing the time and just opened up a bank that's completely dedicated to mushrooms.
Why not?
Or maybe there was a big clothes sale that day and they just all bought suits.
I'm kind of surprised to keep continuity between comics because it is mostly the same village as the previous comic, so that's a nice detail.
Yeah, especially it's because it's done by the same artist, so he kind of remembers like, oh yeah, I remembered I drew that character wearing that suit. I gotta remember that. Even though, despite the fact, like later on, in almost the same panels in a way, like one of the rabbits is like one moment wearing a tie and then the next he's not. And like,
yeah.
What a terrible artist! I never make mistakes like that. What is this?
Nope, not at all. Nope.
Yeah, I'm noticing like the duck characters are like constantly changing clothes per panel.
Indeed.
But then again, I suppose it's hard to keep track.
I suppose
Poor
so.
Mike.
Yeah, clothes aside, it's always interesting to see all of these like comic exclusive characters because they never have the same proportions as Sonic characters. I guess this is something that, yeah, this was also the same with Archie before the reboot. Well, like it seems like from what I remember, Archie actually started using the game proportions for characters after the reboot. So.
Well, even before the reboot, like, yeah, there was the whole constant changing of the artists and different styles, but, like, during the late era of the Archie Sonic's old timeline, they readjusted the characters to kind of more design them to look like, okay, these could characters that might look like they would look like in the games. So, like, more proportions are better handled and everything.
It's kind of funny because it does create the same effect as humans and Sonic characters have. I mean, they are anthros, but in how different they look in terms of proportions and clothing, they have the same effect as if you put Knuckles into a human town. So it's kind of interesting that idea was already being toyed around before it became official. It's like Sonic characters has to stick out and the rest has to be like normally, I guess.
Yeah,
I want to say that the art style here is not as bad as how Fleetway looks in later down the line. I mean, as I said, like the Sonic characters look fine, but the other characters, they just look awful.
Yeah, I think I know the ones you're referring to.
Because they look so horrible, they look the same, have these horrible gangly proportions and that. It just looks terrible. I mean, no offense against the artist, of course.
Even though, like, many people, like, put him down as, like, the worst artist of the comic series.
Well, this one the current one?
No, this
not this one.
No, there was this artist that's like later down the line.
Oh, right, fair enough. Guess
yeah, will be some time before you see it.
Looking forward to that. Yeah, does he draw worse than me?
Maybe on par.
Ouch. Ouch.
I mean, his art style does work in some contexts, like if it's set in like a medieval setting or a Greek setting, but in like modern setting, it just doesn't work.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I just want to point out that I absolutely love the panel where Knuckles is pushing the guy away, saying, "Oh my white chubby chops," because I like to imagine that's actually Knuckles. They just came, he's in a bad mood.
Yeah. Hey, you're not Porker. Get out of my way.
Of course not. He's called Chubby Chops.
Yeah, that's just his name. Out of my way, Chubby Chops. Oh, sorry, Knuckles.
He goes to a job interview. It's like, oh, hello, Mr. Chops. Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably how we all feel when we go into work on a Monday morning.
What is it with big characters? What is it with big characters in media? They always are named after their own death and food they become. Like, oh, I'm gonna call myself Bacon. I'm gonna call myself Ham. I'm gonna call myself Chop.
It is.
Yeah, it's weird. Like, oh yeah, like one I can think of was Banjo-Tooie, where there's that diver guy. It's like, oh, I'm a pig character, so my name is Chris P. Bacon. Hoo hoo.
Yeah, and the story behind that is that we have this magazine, Nintendo magazine, that was doing a competition to name 2 of the characters, and one of the winning names was Crispy Bacon.
Oh yeah.
But really, it's always pig characters. I always have to say, oh, I'm gonna turn into food. For like names. Like, what is it? Are all pigs always suicidal or something?
It's because we taste good.
There we go.
I don't know. Maybe they're just trying to appeal all the the culture that don't like pigs or whatever it is.
I suppose, because I never see like cow characters called hamburger or beef or something, or chicken called roast chicken. It's always the pig characters are called ham.
Well, I know there was that one character from Diddy Kong Racing called Drumstick.
Oh, well, there you go then.
There was a song, I don't remember who it's by, but it's like a parody of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and it's like Teenage Mutant Kung Fu Roosters, and the instead of being named Italian artists, their names are Fricassee, Cordon Bleu, Cacciatore, and Stew.
Alright. There you go.
And there is another thing I want to point out that Sala might like in the panel where Evil Knox was like, you decide to turn and fight. It makes me think of that iconic shot from Stardust Crusaders.
Oh, which one? Which panel?
When the two Knocks are facing each other and it's saying, you decide to turn and fight. Excellent.
Oh yeah. So you're approaching me. I can't beat the shit out of you without getting closer. Very nice. Excellent.
Yeah.
Of course, it's better that the IDW comics just straight up recreated that panel.
Yeah, who knows? Awkward silence. I think that's about time our video ends then, because I'm tired.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Yep. And it's been over 2 hours, so that's a nice time to... No, not to scream.
If that's how you sleep...
What the hell is that voice clip from, anyway?
Yellow Submarine.
I've yet to see that film.
Yeah, we were talking about that briefly before you joined.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yep, another glimpse of me artwork.
Indeed it is. Thank you very much, Euan, for your artwork.
Yeah. And obviously why, like, Fang is, like, you know, taking up much of the spotlight.
Because he has so much attention, thanks to the cartoon and the comic.
Yeah. Exactly. Would have been much bigger if we did the, maybe the IDW Amy sort of comic, but that's for the future.
I guess so.
And that's for whenever we feel like going back to IDW. Yeah.
Though I just realized that Euan actually has redrawn his old drawing that he shared earlier. Of Neck.
Somewhat.
Except different sizes, different proportion.
Probably. But yeah, the picture of like of where Eggman's like pointing at the picture, I was basically obviously trying to make it draw like a cow, but then I would have had on top of it say woof to represent a mad cow.
Oh, mad cow.
But obviously I couldn't write it in properly with that font size, so oh well.
A joke lost of time. Man, I'm tired. So, everyone say goodbye, and then we're...
See you next time.
Yeah, goodbye.
Thank you for letting me join in this time.
Sure.
Cheerio,
Oh, yeah, sure, Joel.
cheerio, because this has
Cheerio.
been another exciting episode of.
Dissected Alive.
Sorry, that was an accident.
Dissected Alive.
Doodle pip.